Where are you? There
Yes.
you are. Thank you. You want to come on up, please? Thank
Hello everyone, my name is Sheikh Rahman and I'm the VP Peer, Vice President of Public Relationship of this club, and privileged to be here. Positive environment is the best place where you can be, right? But again, just to initiate the evaluation part, what I would like to do is get the evaluators up here and do the evaluation for the speakers first. I think the first person who was the speaker, and I love that speech, of course, John, and I believe the evaluation is going to be done by Sharon Adams.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests. John, you're wearing your coat, it's cold, I feel cold too, so I understand. You started off your speech quite strong as you shared some Chinese wisdom. You talked about humans who survive because they're moving. Unlike trees, if they move, means they're dead. Quite impressed by that. You also took us through the various stages of your education. You talked from a young kid all the way to when you received your PhD. I believe you said in chemistry. Did you say chemistry? And you also, okay. What impressed me also was when you became a comedian, and we sure enjoyed all the humor. Especially, is that how you actually found your wife? That was pretty funny. And I also was counting the number of times you moved. I believe I stopped when I got to 12. So those were some pretty funny parts of your story. I was also able to identify with you. Having been to China last year, I spent a couple of weeks there and I thoroughly enjoyed my trip. I know you said that you went to school in Yunnan province, and you gave us a reference. You said it was the size of the state of Tennessee. So I do commend you on that explanation. You also talked about experiences with your friends, with your teacher. You also observed child labor, as you talked about children receiving payment for building roads. From the description of your talk, we certainly learned a lot about you. We realized you're quite educated and you achieved a lot. You were among some of the select few to get into high school in Yunnan province. Quite impressive. As you went through, I could distinctly identify an opening, a body, and a conclusion in hindsight, but I didn't hear it from you in the beginning. So that's one way I would think of when preparing my speeches if I were you, to give a distinct opening, a body, and a conclusion. I thoroughly enjoyed your speech. We learned a lot more about you, and we are looking forward to many more.
Okay, our next and second speaker's evaluation would be done by Isabel. Isabel can do it.
Well, I want to thank you, Jackie. You provide us highly valuable information and this timely education. I feel much better equipped to against the scammers now. Well, scammer, it's so prevalent now that I think if I check my Google email in the scam that subdirectory provided by Google, I will find tons of them. I'm pretty certain that some belong to the IRS. They did the group of scanners that specialized in II scan. I learned a few very valuable things: how to identify scammers, from the legitimate IIS business. A few years ago, I did receive the mail from IIS. That was real. I got audited by IIS. It turns out to be a glitch within the system. I transferred some IIS funds from one institution to the other institution, but they thought I had took out of those retirement funds early. They decided to give me several tens of $1,000 fine. It was pretty scary. I wish I had a friend like Jackie so I could call her up to get some mental support. At that time, I handled it myself, even though I believe I did it correctly and it did resolve properly. But at the time, I always had that kind of uncertainty in my mind. I feel not sure about myself. So thank you, Jackie, for this timely education. And this is Jackie's ACE project. It's about visual aids. And I thought it would be better if Jackie, I think Jackie this is a really busy time in the year for Jackie. I think if you had more time, if you could make some PowerPoint slides and project onto the screen. I think this handout is very informative. It provides a beautiful contrast between the fake phone calls and what to be expected from IS if they ever look for you. For example, the unsolicited phone calls will be most likely between 5 to 9 p.m., while the legitimate business dealing should be between 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. If you had this projector, then we will have a much stronger impression about those contrasts, and it will give us long-lasting knowledge about how to deal with scammers. Lastly, after this education, I feel I'm really better equipped to not only just protect myself, how to deal with scammers. I wish next time if I receive a phone call, I would jot down the right information and report them to the IIS.
Thank you, Isabel. Next, and the third speaker was Farhad, and he will be evaluated by Annette Baker.
Fellow Toastmasters, Mr. W, Ms. Yu. I'm really rusty at this thing. To all of you. I had the opportunity of evaluating Farhad's speech. His topic was Science Behind Autumn. This was his second speech. Farhad chose to support his topic with visual aids or with a visual aid. Unfortunately, some of his time was taken by difficulty with a computer. The most important thing, though, Farhad, is the choice of topic is very important to your speech. A topic that can be woven into a story or the retelling of events that capture your audience is the foremost thing you should think of. Before you do anything else, you should think, now is this, I've got this audience of 30 to 70-year-old people from different disciplines, different backgrounds. Is this going to be important to them? Is this something that will capture their interest? That is very, very important. You chose to open your speech with a visual cartoon, which is a very good idea. Using something that catches immediately, so people were looking like, hey, what's that about? That is a good question to place in the minds of your audience. So that was very good that you've done that. You chose to do an informative speech. Giving information is very risky. It's very, very risky when you're doing an informative speech. Unless you, say in the case of this, you were in a biology class and all these people knew that if we don't get this information, our grade's not going to be too good. But it's very hard to hold the attention of a group who has no vested interest in it. You supported your ideas, you had a good topic for a certain group, but for this group, I dare say many of them were sort of lost. They had no need to know that information, and I hope this doesn't sound so harsh, but in your trip into Toastmasterland, please know that you've gotta get a topic that will capture your audience and they will listen to. It will capture them because it's entertaining, it will capture them even because it's informative, but it must be information that they can hold them on to, that they want to hear. Not that knowing about movies is an important or autumn, but it doesn't have that kind of importance to them. So they had no reason to really engage themselves in that. You have the potential of being a very good speaker. You didn't even have to have a script. But your topic was the most important thing that you needed at this time. And on your next speech, if you try to engage yourself into thinking about what will these people, what will entertain them, what will they want to know, you will be well on your way. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Annette. Now there's the last part of my part actually, which is getting the report from the timer, counter, and grammarian. Timer, Tingley, if you could give your reports from where you are, please.
Okay. My record is John. The time is 7 minutes, 1 second. Konya, 8 minutes, 7 seconds. And Han, 7 minutes, 5 seconds. And the first topic, what's your name? Is Alex. Alex, 1 minute and 10 seconds. And Emmett, big. Correct me. 36 seconds. And Chera, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Junior, 53 seconds. Chera as an evaluation, 2 minutes and 41 seconds. Isabel, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And Emmett, back as an evaluation, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. It seems who meet the required time is Han and else and Chera and Isabel and Emmett and also Chera as an evaluation.
Thank you. Next is the counter report from Sirisha.
Hello, Toastmasters and guests. Here's my report for speaking errors. I would like to start with the speakers. John, he gave his icebreaker speech, which was entertaining and very informative. For his benefit, I have evaluated his speech as well. Generally, icebreaker speeches are not evaluated. He used a couple of ahs and ums and repeated words. Jacqueline used 1 ah and 3 ums. Farad Khan also used a couple of ahs and ums and some repeated words. Moving on to evaluators, I could not find any speaking errors for Shirley and Annette. For Isabel, couple of ums and 1 ah and couple of repeated words. Moving on to Table Topic Master, June used the word of the day invective and she had 3 ums. Alex, guess you had 2 ums in your speech. Annette, Cheryl and Julia had no speaking errors for table topics. I would say please don't consider my report as invective.
That's very nice. And last report will be from the grammarian and
Thank you. John, I just I picked up a few grammatical opportunities for you. A couple of examples would be, I believe you said, when I was boy, and as opposed to when I was a boy, and it seemed like the O or the A wasn't in there, and 8 persons studying college versus 8 people. So just small grammatical corrections like that would be helpful. Jackie, I loved the sentence where you said ratched up invective words. Thank you for using the word of the day, and ratchet up. That's a good descriptive word. And then you went on to say imminent responsibility, I believe, in terms of the fraudulent companies using that, and I thought that was pretty powerful. Farah, definitely a lot of new exceptional words introduced by you, and just one thing I'd have to ask if on the slide it said colors, the spelling was, I think, the English version versus United States. That would be helpful to correct that. On the table topics, the only one I pick on is Alex. And I do this because I'm from New York City originally, and the way we speak in New York is we cut words up, and you would say cause when you want to say the cost. So I just, I have that common issue of cutting words up, so I thought I'd pick that one up. And Isabel, just a few captures of the use of tenses in words, like I had took versus I had taken, and I feel not sure versus I felt not sure. So those are the only ones that I picked up. And that's my report.
Okay, and as an evaluator, very quickly, I'm going to go over some details that I actually noted down. First of all, why we do this evaluation. This is the only place, so to speak, officially that you get evaluated after you have done your speech or whatever the role you are doing. And even as a guest, we evaluate you, so we are not, again, invictive and trying to be invictive, as you understand. The other thing I wanted to say that for this, actually it takes a lot of preparation, and one of the credit I have to give to Venkat, because he's the acting president now, while our president our club president Paul Kaplan is out of town for a couple of months, and I am thrilled to see the leadership that Venkat is taking care of the club and everything. Anyway, just a few things. One of the things I noticed that the agenda was ready when I walked in around 10-12 a.m. or so. That was awesome. We were a few minutes late. That needs to be rectified. Toastmasters start was really good. So of course the Jokes Master was definitely one of the best. No question about that. Then I'm not going to do evaluation for the evaluators, but in general, the speakers and for the evaluators, what I can say that, of course, John, bravo on your first icebreaker. Jacqueline, I think you did a great job, and I really learned also. I had those calls at some point, and I had to take care of some of the things, but my CPA was helpful, so it was okay. Farhad, I think one of the things that I found out that it was hard for me to over from there to see some of the visual because of this podium, or as Ben calls it, lectern or something like that. I don't know what the correct word is, but anyway, I would say that when we are using, not to critique or anything like that, just to make sure our guests and everything, they're impressed and we do a good job. The computer glitch and all these things we need to minimize as much possible, and this visual aids are correctly and can be seen properly from behind or from all the way back. Lastly, certificates, I think those are very important, which Venkat showed, but I would say these important stuff need to be displayed properly for everybody to see, and probably even make a copy or a picture out of it, or stand there, things like that. So if we have that opportunity, I think those would be really good for us. was some unexpected pause for that, but I think that's okay, and this can happen. However, in Toastmasters, as we realize, 1 minute means 60 seconds, so we try to maintain that as much as possible. And then my evaluation regarding that, what I picked up, there's a small story that I can actually picked up in my last journey from Costa Rica. It's evaluation thing, and 2 weeks back I was there, and this guy was talking about some of the things, and he was very funny on one of the stores that we had, and we were all doing a kind of one. There was a, what do you call those? Go to a venture or some kind of trip and stuff like that together. Everybody together, you become friends, and that kind of thing. So this guy was saying, about a story that this guy goes. Pardon me, my daughter is not here, so I'm going into, but it's not really that bad story or anything like that. But anyway, this guy goes for evaluation. He says, and after all these years, I felt like I needed an evaluation for my marriage. He's like, okay, so he went to a therapist or counselor with his wife. He says, we have 3 kids, but I don't feel that the first thing that the thing that we had at the very beginning of the marriage, I don't see that. There's something missing. What do you say, Mr. Therapist? And he goes, oh, really? He goes, do you do all the things that you're supposed to do, give gifts? And he's like, okay, yeah, I do that. And he's like, okay, do you kiss also? And I say, yes, I do that. Okay. How do you? Okay, no, not. That part is not still there. He's like, no, you gotta do that. And he goes to his wife. The therapist goes to the guy's wife, and he kisses her and he says, this is how you have to do it. Then that guy goes, really? Okay. And you have to do it at least 3 times a week. Like, oh, okay, no problem. I can bring her here Monday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Friday. Anyway, so evaluation. So not that kind of evaluation. What I'm trying to say here is that the evaluation is important. So go back, pause in your life also. And the last part, I wanted to say there's 2 tips for you, which I actually promised at some point that in this club we culture our leadership knowledge as well, our leadership skills. There's a still only 5 years old, still very small group, and this is the chance for all of us to grow as leaders and make it a better club and everything. So all the guests, definitely, proud to have all of you guys. Please have a New Year's resolution. Take it and be the person that you want to be. Act the person you want to be. That's one of the things that I learned recently. John Maxwell called about a couple of days back that he said, don't wait until you go there, until you become, rather, exercise like a fit person that you want to be. Act like the person that you wanted to have, muscle, as if you already have it. By the way, just a very quick thing that I noted actually, one of the things I really loved what Julia said on the leadership skill actually, that I rated very highly. You got me at all when you said that, I love my life already, and some of the parenting tips that you said, I really like that. But with that, I just want to end and give it back to our president, Venkata. Thank you so much.
So just we come to the final part of our meeting, and I have a couple of announcements. We have a leadership training. Benefit of being a member of Toastmasters is not only coming to in front of the public and being able to talk something that makes sense, and that's the greatest advantage for anyone to, improvise the personality and the day-to-day life. And apart from that, leadership is another great, like Sheikh was mentioning, Toastmasters is a great platform to build your leadership skills. And we have leadership training conducted by Toastmasters district clubs, 3-4 clubs will combine together, and especially most of the time the leaders of the team go for the training, but it's not necessarily so. Not everybody knows that all the members of the team can go take the advantage. It just costs $5. In fact, there is one leadership training going on today. We have meetings, so we won't be able to go. It's 10:30 to 3:30, Johns Hopkins University, Laurel. It's going to be there up to 3:30. But if anybody, leadership enthusiasts like Sheikh will take advantage usually. But we already attended last time. But just keep in mind that members can also go and take the advantage. There's one on January 23rd, and then there's another one on February 27th. I'll put this information here, and I'll also send this information to everyone in the email so you'll know. So we have a couple of guests here today. I'd like to, hear their impressions, what they feel about the meeting. And we'll start with Julia.
The first thing I noticed was the schedule. And I've always thought timing was so important in a meeting. If you don't finish on time, you're starting to steal some of the attendees' time. And how you all managed that was very interesting to me. I heard things that made me realize there's still a lot of things I'd like to learn how to do. I'm not unaccustomed to speaking, but because of my background, I can be a little too succinct and cut things a little short. And I was watching how people manage their time. It's very interesting.
Donald, can you tell us about your impressions?
Well, I had a positive impression. I really like the constructive criticism. I think it's really very helpful in terms of like developing your skills as you go on. And I look forward to seeing how the industry plays out. That's all I can say.
Alex, can you please tell your?
Yeah, I had a great impression of this meeting. I like how we used words of the day. I think it's, with me personally, I know that when I'm in an anxious situation or like public speaking, it's always hard to use, how to make sense of my words and what I'm trying to convey. Mostly, I feel like anxiety and stuff makes you seem less intelligent than you really are. So I think that's really good, and constructive criticism is really good. So.
Finally, Mr. Hussain, can you please?
Meeting was really good, especially the table topic master. I really enjoyed the positive attitude. That's really one of my resolution things. Like, be positive, especially when you get into the meeting and you're like, not the same thing again. Like you want to see things in a positive way. So yeah, I really enjoyed that part, and would like to come back. Third week, right?
Yeah.
Fourth week.
Every fourth week, second and fourth week of the
Second week is so quicker this time.
Yeah,
Like it feels like the fourth week of the month.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you can touch base. Isabel Kalori is our Vice President of Membership, so you can
Yeah,
help us.
she should be able to.
So, yeah, I want all new members to take advantage of joining as a member. And apart from the announcements that we have, we want President to give some additional information if you want to give to us. We have 2 more minutes.
Okay. Thanks for the impromptu opportunity. I'm actually the immediate past president, and just want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who showed up today. None of us is jealous of our president, who is away. He is enjoying the warm climes. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed being here, enjoyed everyone's presence and all that you shared. So once again, thank you, and here is my invitation for everyone to come again, because we love to have you in our midst.
And also I want our founding member of the club, Annette Becker, she's back after a very long break. I want her to come to us because it's a really great moment for us. Half a decade of, Why Not Toastmasters Club, it's a great achievement, and we have a certificate of achievement. So I want you to come and talk about briefly about how it all started. Just 1 minute, and what made you, what brought you all together. At least we'll know the history of our club.
This club was originally organized by Ben Guglielta and a couple of more people who had worked at Social Security, and there was a Social Security club, and once they retired, they decided, let's start a club in Ellicott City, preferably a Saturday club, because Saturdays, retired people like to do other retiring things during the week. So I had retired and happened to see in the Columbia Flyer that a club was being organized on Saturday mornings. I always wanted to go to a Toastmaster club, but working every day, having kids and a husband, 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock during the week was not somewhere that my car would go. It just wouldn't go there. So I thought, how about a club on Saturdays? We met up at the Y, up the street there, and in a small room. There were about 10 people. There were 3 or 4 people from Social Security who were the senior or sort of the guiding people, and we were all stumbling along. And I have to really admit that along the way, we were all learning different things. As we would delve into the books, which are very, very important, your leadership book and your communication book, you start to hone your skills and start to get more sophisticated. I mean, the club, the body, not me or you as individuals. But like the icebreaker thing, you learned that somewhere. You guys weren't doing that when I left. We weren't giving the little icebreaker thing. There were different little things that support the club that we've learned to do, which has made us better. Another thing that I love about this club is the diversity of it. I have learned so much about other cultures and other places and other ways that people do things. I remember when Cheryl brought her story from somewhere in the Caribbean, I don't know, but it was a funny little story. Those kinds of things, you just get involved in them and you just relive their experiences, and it's very, very valuable to become somebody else and live their story. So that was what has been important to me. And let me speed up here. We were named Why Not Toastmasters because